welcome back to my plant paradise. I am so excited to finally be doing the part two of my 2025 plant tour. It is almost the end of 2025. I am so sorry this took so long, but there's so much to show. I'm so excited about this. We'll talk a little bit about styling plants in the bedroom. It's very difficult, or at least it was for us, to think through, what we're comfortable with, what makes sense because of having to keep plants watered, lighting. I mean, all of those things that just causes problems when you have to be realistic about what plants you want to style with, and just think about, what makes sense in your bedroom and what you're willing to do. So what we have, four bedrooms upstairs. Two of those four rooms are occupied. My 16-year-old's room, which he does have a few plants and he does take care of his own plants. And a little like surprise is the 90 to 100 plants we have on the second level. My husband takes care of, which I cannot believe we're even here. Like, it's amazing to me that he actually takes the time to take care of these plants. Now, I do the pest control as well as movement and placement, but he's so helpful when it comes to watering our plants. What you see behind me is our bedroom. This is our large plant feature in our bedroom behind me. Our bed is directly in front of us, which you guys will see. It's so relaxing, you guys. I mean, we don't like to sleep with it going like throughout the night, but it puts us right to sleep. It is so relaxing. It's definitely worth the investment, even a small feature. But the sound of water and real live water, not an app, is a game changer in the bedroom. So, if I can suggest one thing other than to put plants in your bedroom, it would be to have a water feature. So I think that's it. I'm just sorry that it took this long. And also, thank you so much to all of you that subscribed. Thank you to all of you that gave suggestions, helped me with plant names, and just some good ideas for my next video. I'm just so grateful. We have the best community of people that exists on all types of social media. So I'm very thrilled to be a part of this. And I thank you guys so much for even being interested and being with me on this journey. But we're going to get right to it because this does take forever. All right, we'll get right into it. All right, we will start with my son's room, who kindly allowed me to film his room. It's raw footage here, so we do have some maintenance to do, but I'm so proud of him because he actually takes care of his plants all on his own. I rarely have to do anything or remind him about anything. But this is a peace lily that we've had for maybe about 8 years. So it can use a little love and attention, but it has gotten so big. He actually has done a great job taking care of it. And then this is just a rescue plant that my husband brought home. I have no idea where he got this from, and be very honest with you. Yeah, I have no idea, but it is a Dracaena marginata, and she's so big and just fluffy. I mean, I love it. So I will assist in helping him to kind of repot that. We haven't done anything to this. Repot it. I'll change the soil with him. It still has the soil from the big box store. And we'll give it some love, cut off some of the good stuff. But we wanted to see, or bad stuff, we wanted to see kind of how that would look in his space. And he likes it. Um, so we're going to keep it. We might make it a floor plant and maybe hide some cords down there. I'm not sure. He has, now, I forgot the name of this plant, and I don't even know, like, what to put in to look it up. It splits. Maybe you guys can help me out. I'll find out what it is and put the name up. But it splits into like a kind of looking like a little paw. I don't know how to explain it. But had this plant for years. He's been taking care of this plant. Let's get this guy. We'll just move this guy for him. He's been taking care of that for a very, very long time. And this is his golden pothos that is decorating his shoe stand. He's done a pretty good job with this guy. We are going to do some lessons on making sure he understands the importance of taking out dead leaves to prevent pests. We don't want to keep these in because it can encourage pests on the decaying leaves, but he's done a pretty wonderful job. I am just so impressed with him that he loves taking care of his plants in here. And then he has a snake plant on his refrigerator that has gotten a ton of little babies. Let's see. I mean, we have babies kind of everywhere. This little pot, Grow Old With Me, was given to me by a sweet friend of mine. But his there's lots of new growth in his snake plant, so I'm super proud of him. And that is it for Simon's room and his plants. And now we're going to head into the guest bedroom. We don't have a ton of plants in here, but so we'll start just from our first little corner here. We have a snake plant. I forgot the variety. I'll put it up on the screen. But she's so pretty. She's been recovered. This was actually in that same room when my oldest son, who is now moved out and married, was in that room. And he also had plants in his room, loved plants. He's a plant dad himself. And this wasn't doing so good. So he brought it to me one day and just asked to revive it. And I did. And it has lived in my bathroom. And then this is its third home. And pretty much loves its life. It doesn't have much light. It does get some light from this grow light, just regular, inexpensive Amazon grow light that I have on my Monstera here. And our window is right here. We pretty much keep this open 24/7. And she's been doing okay. So I don't know. I'm okay with her being in this corner, but I do love the pop of color of the frame. I love the pop of color that it gives that corner. Just a little neon bit of goodness over there. And then this is a Monstera Deliciosa, just a regular green form Monstera. I don't have many Monsteras that are wild, not staked up. But I do for a reason. It's intentional when I do. And you'll see a couple more upstairs. Now, this guy was a rehab plant. I'm letting it kind of go crazy. I don't know why, but I just like it at the foot of this bed. I don't know why. I just do. I feel like it's adorable. It fills space. It makes me happy. And then we have a little shelf of trailing plants up here. I'll turn that on just for better lightage. And we have a heartleaf philodendron next to a neon pothos, next to a Christmas cactus, and it looks like it's gonna be in bloom. Look at that. I got blooms last year. It was full. It was beautiful. And then now looks like I'm finally getting some, which I'm excited about. But I do love this. When we have guests, the bed was actually centered on this wall. But I've had some guests recently that doesn't share my enthusiasm for plants hanging all over them. So we moved it to the corner here, and At least it's not hanging in their face, which I don't ever mind. This is a Hoya Australis. Australis, I think I'm saying that right. It's doing pretty good. I think so. I think she's doing pretty good. They have just really pretty shiny leaves. I don't do anything to this, and it's just, I don't know, pretty shiny and beautiful. I do have some weird coloration going on some of the leaves, if you can see that. There's no pests. I do forget about this room sometimes before we've established my husband kind of taking care of it, but so I think it just is water deprived. Well, was, but we've kind of tackled that problem, and now she's looking pretty good. So I think she looks pretty. I love it. We have a donkey's tail here. This was hanging here on this one, and then when people got in and out of the bed, she is bald. So we are going to leave her and let her regrow. She was pretty full at one point. Sorry about the lighting. And now she's just not. This is a dwarf lipstick plant. I'm sure that's not the name for it. But I haven't seen this flower yet, so I'm super excited about that. Oh, it just calls it a lipstick plant, but it is a tiny one compared to the other lipstick plants that I have. But I love how these leaves are just so thick, and can you guys see how furry they are? Can you see that? Like they just feel good. I don't know if you can see that, but it's just heavy. It has that like, wait, I don't, if you know, you know. It feels really good. So I can't wait to see that, that flower. But she is stunning. She is, let me get away from the light a little bit. She is just full. I'll probably have to repot her soon. Do you see that furry kind of juiciness? Just juicy. They're juicy leaves. They're so juicy. We have a syngonium. I have a lot of syngonium, or a few, and I don't ever know the names of the syngoniums. I will try to find it. I'm not going to promise, and I'm going to put that on the screen. But she's seen better days. She has had mealybugs like nobody's business. She's all clear and clean now, but she looks like she's been through some trauma. My poor baby. We have a philodendron tangled in my cord to my curtain. Don't judge. Philodendron mammy. Really fun plant. She's grown up, and then she's like growing back down because she's grown past her moss pole. But I'm okay with that. I have her turn towards the light. Let me see if I can turn her around without destroying her. But she's pretty. I mean, I love her. I've always loved these plants. Super simple. I'll take her off. Looks like she's about done. But she's such a pretty little plant. I love her little pot. I don't know if you guys remember in my last video, my toxic trait is I'm so excited to get plants in the house and in their pots that I leave tags on, and I don't mean to. I'm not planning on taking it back. And it doesn't look great when I'm trying to show like how I styled plants. So I'll just tuck that in there. But I love this little pot. Like, do you guys see that? I love that. She's so cute. All right. And then here we have our big girl. She She is our bird of paradise, and she's just doing so good. I mean, her leaves are massive. This is her latest leaf. I mean, I don't know if you can really get the gist of her. She's a bit dusty, but she does have her own dedicated light. I love these lights. It's like a green glass with the gold cord. You'll see them throughout, but she loves her space, and she did give me this leaf in this space. I noticed though that it was a little like, I don't know, it unfurled with a little bit of struggle. So I know that there's not a lot of humidity up here. It is warm, but not a lot of humidity. So I may add some humidity to this room. So I was concerned, but then I saw that she is giving me this new leaf. So I will watch that. I will add humidity and we'll go from there. Next we have, this is our Dracaena limelight, and it's a cutting of a Dracaena that is not a floor, probably about 4 feet tall Dracaena that was in our bedroom. We moved it, and it is not doing so well. But this little girl in this little low lit corner, I guess she's getting some light from the Bird of Paradise uplight, or down lighting. But she's liking her little life, you know. I think she's doing okay. So here is our guest room. My husband uses this room as his overflow room and our ironing room. So this is his overflow sweats and athletic gear in this dresser, our iron, of course. We like to keep it somewhat decorated and ready to go, but just something pleasant for us to look at. And that's his closet of all of his suits and work gear is in there. I sometimes will sew in here, but not often. It pretty much stays like this. There's an ironing board normally in the middle of the floor because that's where we iron, and we pretty much iron every day. I don't know, does everyone iron every day? I feel like we iron every single day. But yeah, this is the guest room. It's normally kept open, so we do like to keep it neat because, as you can see, when you come up the stairs, my son's room, and then you're up the stairs, and this is the room that you see. So it's really, really irritating when it is messy. And then we have the little, I guess, what do you call this? Look over of the foyer. So this is what you all saw in the downstairs kind of video. I will show you the view from the foyer, but this is what it looks like from behind, which is not that bad, but most of the plants and the leaves are really reacting to this big window in our foyer. And we're super excited about this feature. So let me show you what it looks like downstairs. This is what she looks like downstairs. We try really, really hard to keep these guys happy. It's still a hard view. You can't really see it, but we have our wild monsteras there. And then you all saw our 2 featured plants already from our first video. And then just heading back upstairs, we have, man, so this guy still has some of the outside. This guy came in from outside. He really prefers to be outside. you know, acclimation was a little rough coming from the outside in, but we're doing the best we can. She has her own light. We're trying to keep the leaves as lit as possible. This light is on pretty much 24/7. And no, that is not from being burnt. That is from being underwatered, because when I moved her inside and put her here, uh, I kind of forgot about her, which seems crazy because, you know, she's right there in everybody's face. But I don't know, it just wasn't part of my watering plan. So she just didn't get watered. So that's why you see that browning. She actually had a chance. We did everything right except for that. But it's okay. I see some new growth. And, you know, once we get some new growth, I'll go ahead and trim back those brown spots. But we do keep that light on pretty much 24/7, just because I think she really needs it. She has a lot of roots down there. I love how her roots are growing. Like, it's just spiraling around the pot. So yes, she is root bound. Um, but it looks so cool, and I like the size of this pot. And so far, she's not suffering because of that. Even though she looks like she is, she's not. When she's outside, she's just huge and beautiful and green and lush, and that is just acclimating from coming in for the winter. But yeah, so then we will head upstairs. All right, so we are just gonna head into our next room upstairs, which is the office, or my office, and just give you just a kind of a wrap around. So this is like the everything room for me, the craft room, everything room. So we'll just kind of pan around. All right, let's get started. So this is a philodendron paradiso. The variegation on this looks like this, and then reverts to all green when it does not like its lighting, and it doesn't like its lighting. Um, I don't have ideal lighting set up here. Let me show you what I do. I have to pull out this little step stool, and this little thing, which is like the bottom part, the tripod stand to that light that I mounted up here. Oh, and then I take it and I don't judge me. And here's the really, really interesting part. I just work with what I have. So those are S hooks, and that is a zip tie. That is my system for hanging this light. So eventually I should probably get like a plug timer thing so that I don't have to climb up here every time. But my babies needed lights up there. That is really just for this grouping, and you know, just, I think that makes me so incredibly happy walking into that every day. This situation, not ideal. Even for watering, it's not really ideal up there, but you know, it's okay. It works for now. So I have, I want to say that's a global green, but it's not. I think it's a marble maybe, or snow. This is not my average philodendron here. I want to say snow. We'll come back to that. That is some vining plants. It's a Scindapsus That's a golden pothos. That's a Hoya that I struggle with all the time remembering. I have no idea what that is. I actually need to look at that. It's some sort, it looks like a lipstick plant, to be honest with you, like a variegated one. You see some variegation there. Um, but I'm not sure. That's the cuttings from my very long golden pothos upstairs. I mean, downstairs. I did a video on that, and everyone was really upset with me. But I promise I didn't throw the cuttings away. There they are. That's proof. And then that is a syngonium that is dead. It was a cutting. It actually, to be fair, it was dead before. Um, and then this is such a cute little guy that was gifted to me by a really good friend, another plant mom. And I don't know the name, but I love it because it was gifted. This is, oh, this one's not looking good. This is just a cutting of a monstera, and looks like she has thrips, so she's gonna get moved. And then we have a really dry. Look at that. Doesn't that look like I have some variegation there? So pretty. And we have a peace lily. Love my little peace lily. She has lights kind of strung in around her. She was in our room as well. Love that plant. We have a Dieffenbachia reflector. The new leaves coming in. Make sure that they come in healthy. So pretty. I notice that the more light, the more specks. And it really does look like look at that. Get out the shadow. Take a look. Love that. Yeah, look at this. So pretty. Trying to do a Moroccan painting. What do you guys think? It's like halfway done. Not even halfway. I'm so far away. Adding the details. But can you figure out what it is? Can you figure it out? Does it look like what it is? I don't know. I'm just playing around with it. This is a palm from a big box store, and guess what? Guess what, guys? The death palm, or the kind of temporary palm. This palm has been in our family for 4 years now. She lives outside. She even has some ghost plants in there. That kind of leaves just fell off, and I would just throw them in her pot. That's a succulent that most succulents do, but the leaves propagate and make new baby plants. But she is just loving her life. She's giving me new leaves, and I know everyone says don't get these plants when you get them from like the big box stores, and they'll just die on you. But my girl has been going in and out every summer, spring, she goes out. Every winter, she comes in, and she's doing just fine. So, of course, I have them throughout the house because I have personally been successful with them. I guess if I was to give a tip, I would say pot her up in a really large pot. That is a huge one. I don't know if you can gauge it. And, make sure she has a nice draining soil, and keep her moist. I don't really focus on humidity, but I do focus on lighting. So I make sure that she has good lighting inside and outside. I keep her watered, if not daily, every other day, really just depending on where we are in the summer. And I have not had any problems. We are years and years in. So I don't know. Now, my big girl, Dracena lemon lime, or limelight. She's not doing so good. There she is. She's about my height, which is 5'6", 6, so she's almost, you know, she's pretty tall. I'm starting to get some new growth, which I'm super excited about, but the rest of her is, I do have her tied up too. Um, she's needing some love, so I'm working with her. Well, I have to clean her up. This is another philodendron mammy. She's kind of hanging all over the place. Just letting her be wild. Have her in this cute little pot. Oh, look at this, guys. This is just like, I've been seeing this all over, and I tried my hand at it, and I don't know, it's too heavy. I put a magnet on it. It keeps falling off the refrigerator and breaking. I don't have it on the refrigerator, just have it in here, and it does reflect the light when I have it up, but it's hiding right now, so I don't. This plant you guys have seen downstairs. I repotted her and brought her up here. It is a my little Hoya Matilda. Is adorable. She's doing really well. Another palm, because why not? If you can make them live, they create jungle. This one is loving its life. This was actually gifted to me at the beginning of fall, when the weather started to change, and a friend of mine needed to bring her in and didn't have space inside and just didn't feel like she would survive, because they do have a bad reputation of dying in the winter. But they don't have to. If you give it prime real estate, like in front of a great window, this is a west facing window, that so it gets morning sun. Well, no, it's an east facing window. I'm sorry. It gets morning sun, and it's just prime real estate or good lighting from, you know, not the sun. Why can't I think of the word for, oh, artificial. It gets artificial lighting. Like, whichever you choose, it just needs it. It needs great light. That's how you're going to be successful with this plant. Over here, I have a whale fin. I love this. Oops. I love this little pot. To me, it's just adorable. Oof. And she's just in that corner. It doesn't need a ton of light, but I keep a light on pretty much at all times. This was actually, oh, and then we have 2 white princesses. Now there's some serious rehab. I had this plant like in a giveaway pile, both of these, and then forgot them there. And then was like, I'm not giving away plants that need help. So I am just rehabbing them. They're on my printer. I'm just rehabbing them right now because I don't like giving away like broken plants or crazy, you know, dying plants. If it needs water, that's one thing, but this one had some issues. So both of these. So I'm going to get them back to life, maybe chop them up a little bit to give them to multiple people, but they'll go back in the giveaway pile. And then I forgot this girl. This is a orchid. It's a beautiful orchid. I think this flower is white. But if you notice that it has a little bud there, so she'll probably be flowering soon again. But I don't have a problem anymore with orchids. But look at those juicy roots. Oh, I love it. But yeah, so it's our little art wall, little family project, and my mommy. So I don't know if from the first video, I talked a little bit about my mom, but she did pass away in September. This was her room. She lived with us for years and years and years. She had dementia and she loved plants. She's the reason I'm into plants. So a couple of the elements from her room, which is this room, which is now my office, we kept. So that's her chair, that's her rug, and we did these art projects together. And it's just looking at some of the things that each of us wants to work on in the family or do more of or have more faith in. And then that's just our one of our favorite pictures. Nothing fancy, but she was going, I think, to visit another sibling. And that's our foyer. And for some reason, it was so sad watching her go. She was just going to visit, but I don't know. We took that picture and it's been like our favorite picture ever since. Love that picture. So we got it blown up. I get to look at it every day. I get to work here. I love this space. I feel like I'm in her old space. We have so many memories in this room. And so now it's filled with what I think is her favorite thing other than her children. And yeah. Yeah, I'm really proud of it. This is kind of like my craft center. Our albums are here and tons of crafts. So I have to show you guys this. So this is mini versions of the big ones. And I think I'm going to, so it still needs like little moss, but I'm going to give these away. Have to add the little moss up top. They're tiny, and then you can put them on your fridge. Little project. Yeah, so there we have it. That is my office. Love, love, love. I mean, I am just truly in love with this space. So now we are entering our bedroom. I'll do one little scan around. Okay, so we have a bird of paradise. I actually lost a leaf, this one, which I'm super irritated about. I think it's because it was turned and the door was hitting it, because it was a big, beautiful new leaf. This is its newest leaf, which is a beautiful leaf. I'm so thrilled with it. Um, and all its leaves are doing pretty well. These down here need to get cut. I actually don't know what happened to that. This plant stays hydrated. May need a little bit more humidity in the room, probably. That's what I'm guessing. We have a lot of random stuff throughout this room, so I'll just be moving stuff as we go. We have just a regular pothos back here. It kind of looks like a golden pothos now, but really it didn't have any of that coloration. But yeah, the pothos. That is an artificial plant. Not sure why I have that, but I do. These bottles, this was a project I just did paint with mixed with baking soda. As you can see, it's a little chalky because I wanted some blue items and I just didn't want to go out and buy a bunch of like new looking blue things. So I tried to create some blue things that looked old. So this was an old entertainment center that we had, and I got rid of it. I took the door off and I painted it all colors of blue and mauve until it ended up looking like this. Um, I met someone recently that does stained glass, and she showed me a couple of techniques. So you better believe that's going to be a project in the near future where I'm going to be um, doing some glass mosaics in these little panes here. I'm so excited for that. I have no idea what I want it to be. If I want each pane to be a different story or theme, or if I want it to be one consistent picture, I have no idea, but I'm excited about that project. And we have a Dieffenbachia that was not doing well at all. You can kind of get a gauge down here, but it popped me out this. And now I do have these really pretty leaves. I do think it's getting a little too much light because it's a little like, I don't think it's supposed to be white in the center there, but lighting was its main problem. And so I'm not playing any games with it. Totally forgot the name of this plant. Definitely a Diffenbachia. Um, I don't think it looks like what it's supposed to look like. I actually think that a lot of these specs are supposed to be dark green, which would change what it is. But I'll put what I think it is up on the screen. But I love that plant that it came back to life. I'm starting to love the different varieties of Diffenbachias. This is a Philodendron Jopii, and she is about as tall as I am, and she's doing so good. She was giving me huge leaves, and actually she started off on that shelf up there and then got too tall, and so we brought her down here. And I mean, she's looking good, but you can tell that she's not as happy because of the size of her leaves, and she's kind of leaning a little bit. I jimmy rigged a light up here because she definitely needs light. um So that's just a temporary fix, but I do want something tall outlining this mirror. Although I love this mirror, I do feel like it needs green around it, but not in like a tacky way. Or I guess tacky is not the word, not in a traditional way, not in like your pothos kind of way. So we'll see. I have also here, if you guys can see with the backlight, a philodendron. Actually, this is a I think it's an epipremdon. Yeah, it's a marble epi, not marble, elbow epi. This one's pretty tall. She's curving around, but I'm not getting any leaves, so I'm probably gonna cut her. I am getting good color though. That is super pretty. Nice big leaves down here. She's doing pretty good down there, right? She's doing pretty good. My little Moroccan lights. My husband gifted that. Love it. It's so pretty. It makes me so incredibly happy when I walk in the room. Like, I can't even tell you how happy it makes me. And then that's my closet. We will not even go there. But I do love these little wooden, I don't know what they're called. They're like thin little wooden cutouts. And I bought 4 of them, painted them blue, threw them on the door. I just realized it would be cool if I had like one more on the bottom there. But just to get that Moroccan shape that I love, like they just have curves that I tried to like emulate throughout, without like doing too much. Let's see. These are fake because I'm terrified. There's so many cords back there, but I feel like I needed to break up all of this, like, oh, my drawer. Sorry. Break up like all of this TV craziness and nonsense. So anyways, I lost that battle. So there's a gigantic black hole of a TV in our bedroom, but it's okay. Got a water feature. We have a ponytail palm. She's doing so good. I've had her for a few years now. I got super nervous because she like had this weird indentation here. So I thought she was like root rotting, but she's not. It's just her feature. She's right up against the window. She's like beautiful. I don't think people talk about these enough, but they keep spitting out new growth. Super stunning. I do have to clean her up some, but she's just so pretty. Let me see if I can flip her around so you guys can kind of see. Like, look at her. Can you guys see how pretty she is? She's just pretty to me. Just pretty. So, I'm a fan. I am a fan. And we have a bird's nest fern here, doing just living its little cute little life. Have some new growth. We do have some crisping around the edges, but I really neglect this plant. I hear all the time that it needs humidity and it needs this, and it probably does. That's why I have the crispy edges. But she's so pretty. I think she's doing just fine. She's doing just fine. And then here I have a burl marks variegated. This is just cuttings of cuttings of cuttings of cuttings. But the variegation is coming in pretty. Oh, look at this one. You see that? So pretty. Doing really well. A little philodendron Rio. This was just like a couple leaf little cutting. And look at her. She's doing so good. So pretty. Like the variegation on this plant wins every time. Not an expensive plant, but it just wins. It wins. It wins. It wins. It's so pretty. Um, I don't have color, if you all remember, in much of my house downstairs. This room probably has the most color of it, of like the entire house. And then my office, actually all of upstairs, has a ton of color. I don't know why I'm like that. It relaxes me to walk into a house less chaotic. When I first come into my home, it's very neutral. For some reason, that's very soothing to me. I don't know why, it just is. And then my creative side and all the color is upstairs, as you've noticed. I can't really explain it. It is definitely a like psychological thing for me. I've tried to add color and with pillows and rugs downstairs, and I cannot handle that for some reason when I first come in. I don't know why. I don't know why. It's the same thing with scents too. For some reason, I can't handle like too much of anything downstairs. I don't know. I can't explain it. This is just your regular. Oh, what do you even call these? Man. Yep. I don't remember. Not bamboo. Oh man. But you know how you buy them and it has like the glued rocks and you don't know how water is getting to it, but it was like tiny and now it's not tiny. So must be getting water type situation. But my husband got it. And at first I was like, huh, this isn't going to grow. This is crazy. I'm going to peel all of this glue off. But I left it and it's actually growing. So I'm going to leave it and see how well it does. But look at that. None of that was there. It's so cool that it grows like that. It's probably a hot mess underneath all of that. But until something jumps out at me, I'm going to leave it just like that. It's so cute. And then this is another one. I think I broke it down downstairs. It was two stem cuttings, or I don't know what you call it. What do you call it? Not chunks. Yeah, just stem pieces, nodes of a stem of a Florida Beauty that I once had that I didn't do so well with, and put it in some sphagnum moss and in my cabinet, and it did grow, but I don't see variegation, so it just looks like a Florida green, which I read that can happen. Like just because you propagated or um, took stem nodes off of a Florida Beauty doesn't mean that it's going to bring its variegation. It just depends on how variegated that piece of stem was. We have another Scindapsus silver satin here, and she's kind of going all over. These plants, they can get a little leggy. I'm just letting her do her thing, but she's doing so good. She was just like a little cutting, and she's actually planted in this little ceramic planter. So I will cut her and then feed her back into her root the cuttings and then go ahead and plant it back in her pot. But that's this little display. And then we have an aglaonema. Is this Silver Bay? You guys let me know. There we have, I remember when IKEA first came to our area and they had plants, and I was like, it's right before COVID, maybe 2019, 2018. So this was a little Dracaena, Dracena, however you say it, Maranta. And it, it was the tiny little cute ones that, like, not that little, but maybe like the pot was like that big, and all together was tiny. And she's growing. They this is funny. It was braided, and so I unbraided it, but I probably should have left it braided. But it looked like torture. Like, that looks like torture to me, to the plant. But um now it just looks crazy. So I don't think I'm gonna braid her back, but I have to do something with her because she looks a little crazy. But that's this little area. So now we'll head to this side of the room. Can you hear the water feature? All right. So I guess we'll start here. It is, oh, thank you to, I'll shout you out, printed form, for reminding me that the ZZ Zenzi is the dwarf kind. It's the tiny one. I think I just like saying that name, ZZ Zenzi. But this is the just ZZ plant, like the Zamioculeus, Zamifolia. So the ZZ is the larger plant. And I actually have a ZZ Zenzi up here, which is the dwarf plant. And then we have a Alocasia albo. So pretty. She's doing pretty good. Definitely likes the summer. Variegation is beautiful. Look at this girl. Isn't she pretty? So pretty. We have, I believe this is a Three Kings Syngonium. I'm not sure. Disclaimer, Syngoniums, I don't keep track of the names. And then we have a caramel, philodendron caramel. Now, the only thing with the philodendron caramel that I'm noticing, that when I get really caramelly leaves, the caramel variegated part burns off. Like, I don't have heavy light on this. Oops. And, this is a great leaf. I don't know how much of the variegation is going to stay. There's very little green in there, but see how I have all these half leaves? Because great variegated leaves are burning off. That's that little corner. Love it. And then we'll head up here. I am not going to climb up here. I hope you guys are okay with that. But we do have a lipstick plant, and she is blooming. Look at her. She's so pretty. It looks kind of crazy, but she's so pretty. And then we have another EpiPen up here, Albo EpiPen. And then we have, what is that, guys? That is I believe it's a Pothos Silver Streak. I don't know if you can see. Let me see. Let me try to go up. But she is just so pretty. So pretty. Pothos Silver Streak. I did cut her recently because she got leggy and was like hitting me like in the head, which was not working for me. And then on this side, we have a pink lipstick plant that is stunning. And yes, she has bloomed. She is doing just so wonderful. I love that plant. I forgot what this, you guys can't see it. Oh, it's filthy up there. I'm sorry. I forgot. It's a calathea. I don't remember. And then we have another Skindapsis silver satin. And this is what a global green looks like. Let's try to get you. Can you see that? So it has the really light variegation on the inner part and dark around the edges. That's a really good example of one. But it's really a stunning plant. You guys probably can't see that very well. stunning plant. Love that plant. That is kind of what over our bed looks like. So just simple plants up there. And then we have our kind of display from our bed, which looks like this. Kind of the view from the bed. And we'll start on this side. So we have a regular pothos here. It's just a green form who has been here for like 8 years and probably just wants to die. Like, it's probably just saying, please just put me out of my misery. We got to do better with this plant. I'm sad because certain things have just stayed in its space forever, and that's not always good. So upstairs, because I don't take care of it fully, I don't move things around as much, and I actually feel bad for plants because I don't. So we'll go right over here. This is our really, really big, Thai constellation. She's doing so good. She got thrips. That's where that browning came from. Little thrip damage here. That one's just the variegation, the creamy part. But that's its newest leaf. Look at her. Are you seeing all of that? Like, really pretty stunningness. Love it. She displays so well. She loves her lighting situation. Oh, there's the water feature. Can I see it? It's on the speaker. There it is. You can kind of see it, but it's not so good. It lights up when the room is dark. The plants are glowing back here. Maybe I'll put a shot in there of that. This is another Albo Monstera. That's its newest leaf, and it's a little small, so probably going to need to help with feeding. Again, I am not as involved, so I will this spring do a better job. Did not do a good job of keeping thrips away, and I really do work hard at keeping my all of my variegated plants, because they look the worst when it gets thrips. That's the signature mark there, that dark kind of look, and that means that your problem was pretty bad. So that means that I've neglected these plants quite a bit, again, because they're upstairs. So yeah, I'm this spring it's time to do a whole lot better with the room up here. But she's such a beautiful, stunning plant. Like, she just does really, really great. So I don't want her to have too much damage. You know, I love it. I'm gonna move the light tower back. This is a philodendron balletii, and she's really massive. She's a good girl. She is a good girl. And believe it or not, I bought her. Like, look at that. Look at her. She's just all over the place. I brought her pretty large, but she is a stunning plant. She's just a pretty girl. She is. And then right behind her is another stunner. Look at that big old Monstera deliciosa. Look at that. Look at it. Look at these leaves. It's so pretty. Like, I do not care that she's a regular degular. Look at that. Like, are you kidding me? That's like, how can somebody say that that's regular? Like, oh, that's just a regular. That's her newest leaf back there. Like, how can you just be like, oh, that's just a Monstera? That is like what a plant should be doing. Like, all its things that it should be doing, that's what it should be doing. I love Monsteras. Some new growth here. I think this is the latest. And she loves her life. There's another one of those lights up here. I don't know why she's not on. They're on a timer, so sometimes it just goes off. And while I'm up here, I'll stay up here. There's the ZZ Zenzi. There she is, a cute little dwarf. It's adorable. And then we have a Hoya carnosa. That's a philodendron Rio. Not loving, I think, all of that light, so she's going to get moved. Another Hoya carnosa, variegated, and then we have a philodendron epi living its life, I believe. Yes, that's what that is. Looks a little green, but that's what that is. So yeah, that's our little shelving unit up here. Yep. All right, so now we'll head down here, and we have some cutie pies over here. We have a hidden in here. Oh, look at that beautiful variegation. So that, let's see, it's our philodendron domesticum variegated. I always have to think. I don't know why I always want to call this a gigantum. It's not. It's a domesticum. But let me let you. She's kind of, look at her variegation. Isn't she beautiful? Look at that. So pretty. So pretty. And then we have an alocasia snow. Look how pretty. Love it. And hiding back here, one of my plants from Ecuador, which I haven't done that unboxing yet, but that's part of the content that I talked about in my intro. And I got so many great plants. I cannot wait to show you all that. And I don't know if I'm going to do it in a spring plant tour or if I'm going to do it in just a plant video about my beautiful plants and how they shipped from Ecuador. But let's see, where are we at? Oh, so then we have a what are you? A philodendron maximus or maximum. And so the leaves get really, really big. That's its leaf. Let's see if I can go back. And thank goodness I have new growth. This was the leaf that I got, and you know, it's hanging on for dear life, but I can tell that it's not loving everything. And so finally got some new growth. So it took a little bit of time to get new growth. And then we have our summer glory, which this moved from upstairs since the last time, but oops, they come out this reddy pinky color, so pretty. There's another one back there coming in. And then they slowly get green, but super big, beautiful leaves. Not necessarily loving it up here, but so I may move her back downstairs because her leaves were huge downstairs. But it does a nice job of filling some space, and I appreciate that. I love the space. Let's see. So are we going to do the table? Let's go ahead and drop down to the ground here, our floor. So this is a little wild, but I really like how it's growing. It's a pink Dalmatian aglaonema, but she's so pretty. As you can see, she's like pouring out of the pot. But I do love that pop of color. I think it's so cute. I love it down there. And then there's another syngonium. As I mentioned, not familiar with their species. I will. I guess I'm going to get used to it because I keep getting them. And we have some baby epis here. Just some cuttings. I think I got these free from the Facebook Marketplace friend back in COVID. And believe it or not, those were like like some type of weird tissue culture, I believe. I'm not sure, but it was just oddly small. So that's how much it's grown, which is weird because normally I can make things monstrous and big, but for some reason they're not. So I don't have tissue culture plants that I know of. And the few that I do, I notice that after years of growth, that's what I end up with, um, which to me says a lot. But I don't, I don't knock tissue culture because sometimes that's the only way you can get your hands on plants. So here we have just a regular Chinese evergreen, is what some people call it. Aglaonema, I believe this one's a Maria. But I love them. I just love them. I treat the aglaonemas and dracaenas or Draceem, just no Dieffenbachias as like rare plants because their leaves are stunning and they're so different and there's so many varieties of them and they're not expensive and they make your jungle just beautiful and full of color and variety. And I don't know why more people don't have them. I don't think everything in your collection should be like a high dollar, hard to find, not easily sourced plant, especially if you just love leaves and foliage. And it's just so pretty to me. And especially when you put them together with things like color wise. So we have the dark, and then we have the neon pothos, and then we have just our regular green pothos. It's just pretty to me. This was also a feature. It's I believe it's a mint. Is it a mint? Ficus. And it was on that shelf, and this plant hated its life. And so now it's just trying to like recover. It's getting good lighting. I'm treating it, feeding it, gave it some worm castings, and we'll see how we do. Struggling with my, it'll come to me in a second. Wow, I don't even have to even think about this plant on a regular basis. It'll come to me. I struggle with all of these plants. And for some reason, this one just doesn't like it up here at all. Moving on to our beautiful philodendron moonlight, I believe is what this one is called. I do love this plant. It's so pretty. It's faithful. It's a faithful plant. And then we have our little calathea back here. It's an easy plant. It's the beauty star. You kind of can see it a little bit. It does want to stay moist, and we don't do a good job of that. That's why you only see a couple of leaves. But as soon as it looks a little messy down in there, as soon as you take care of it the way that it's supposed to, guess what? It'll give you everything you want it to give you. So this is not one that I get rid of when it's looking a little sparse. I just do what I'm supposed to do for the plant and everything works out. So one of the calatheas that's kind of resilient. I love it. And look at that foliage. Look at it. I mean, these plants were created. Look at this. Just look at these two together. Why? Why are they so beautiful? And it's like they're just here for our benefit. You gotta see the love behind that. Like, this is so stunning to me, and it's such a simple plant. But if we take the time to like really look at the detail, we can see characteristics, we can see just love and patience and being created for our benefit, for our pleasure. Um, and that's just what we know about it. Who knows, when studied, what it actually, all the benefits that it actually has. So I don't know, love it. I can literally look at these plants all day. It's a philodendron pink princess who is berserko. Like, not a fan of pink princess. I'm not gonna lie. I have tried all throughout my house, not because what are we doing? I'm not OCD by any means, but even I would have a breakdown if this was what I had to look at every day. It's chaotic, it's crazy. I want to cut it up and start over, which I have, and this is what happens anyway. So I think I'm gonna really put it on like a, I don't know, you know how some people like strap their tummies down every 5 seconds and then put clothes on top. I think I'm going to do that to this plant. I'm going to cut it and I'm just going to keep strapping it up to the pole so that it will grow straight because it's unruly. It's just unruly. However, when you do get pink, it is really pretty. Like, I'm not going to lie. I talk a whole lot of smack, but it's so pretty when you get some pink. But it's just a little unruly. This was a philodendron Florida ghost, and there's some ghostiness coming into the new leaf, but it is really looking like a Florida beauty um, up top here. So not, and it's because of lighting. Like, really, a lot of light is all the light is kind of on this area, and it's pretty dark over here. So it is what it is. I do have this light. It's not on right now, but because of the timer, um, so it gets a little light, but not enough. This is a begonia maculata. Yeah, the maculata, the one with the pink flowers. I always get that and the polka dot mixed up, but yeah, begonia macchiata. This is just a maculata. This is just a cutting of my big one. I have a few cuttings um, throughout. I've already told the story, so I won't tell it again. This is a philodendron white knight. Yes, white knight. Um, and she's doing okay, nothing special, nothing, you know, crazy. And let's see, we have um, a philodendron, no, Dieffenbachia mariana. And I love this, again, the Dieffenbachias. But look at that. Like, this is what we see. It's so pretty. It's like, it's art. It's just so pretty. And it's not an expensive plant. People don't get it, but how could you not want this ad? And the light isn't even on. How can you not want to add this in your jungle to create this, like, this corner is dark. This plant just by itself and its natural color like brightens up this corner because it's just so bright and pretty. I really do love this plant. She is leaning, like seriously leaning. So I will have to stake her or something, but I don't want to cut her. I will eventually, but she has good foliage all the way down, so I don't think that I need to like do too much cutting right now. But yeah, so this is our room, guys. I don't know. I feel like that didn't take that long. So real quick, before I was extremely into plants, I before I was into plants, I like just played with art. And so I started doing like beach themes. So I don't know. You guys let me know what you think of some of these. My hands are shaking from holding the camera. That's a fallen soldier, unfortunately. I don't even remember what was there. Um, but let me know what you guys think about these. They are definitely a labor of love. That's on my side of the bed. And then this is my husband's on his side of the bed. But sunsets are our thing. And so if we can go see them all over, we would, but we were limited to the travel we could travel. Now we're a little bit more able to move around, but before we were just satisfied with our painted sunsets. And this one I didn't do, but I do love it. My husband bought this one for me. It's so pretty. I do love it. As promised, here is just a night view of our little oasis. So we'll come around here. We'll look at our little humidity for our table. There's that little water feature. In our little jungle. I don't have the lights on. And I hope you can hear it. Let's see. Thank you guys so much for watching. We enjoyed this so much. My whole family is a part of this process, and we all really just love plants. So it's been such a joy sharing our plant journey with you all and just our love for plants with you all. Hopefully giving you some ideas of how to style your plants, maybe just some lighting ideas. It's not going to be perfect. I still haven't figured out how to hide cords and make things exactly perfect, but I'm very content with where we are. I do love, how our plants are responding to what we've done. I love our corners of jungle. I love seeing my husband work in his little workspace, just being surrounded by the jungle. I just love it. I love it all. I love it all. So thank you guys so much for watching. And I cannot wait until next time. Please subscribe. And for those of you who has, thank you so much for your patience. Thank you for being a part of my plant paradise. And I hope that I can continue to share content with you all.